Hey everybody, how are you doing? It's me, Delores, the pastor's daughter, and I'm just in my little glam room, getting ready to roll my hair. I want to do like this kind of like a braid out curl set or whatever. I'm going to a ball tomorrow, so I'm just kind of like prepping myself. I'm gonna go ahead and prep my hair for tomorrow so that it can be looking cute, we want to look cute. So I wanted to come on while I am rolling my hair and just kind of just have a real chill chat. Just want to open myself up for any questions about what you've been seeing on the Who the F Raised Me series, The Hitman or the Preacher. And so yeah, like this is just a real chill live stream. As a matter of fact, I'll turn on a little music on here and let's just, kind of like chill and you know, just talk. I have my Invisaligns in. Oh, let me tell y'all what I did. So yesterday I had a dentist appointment and I've been working on straightening my teeth. I guess they were pretty straight. I'm like one of those self-conscious people. I think I've just realized like that I make things much bigger than they have to be. Like I, exaggerate things, catastrophize things. It's not like on purpose, it just is something that I just do. And so now I'm just kind of like really coming to the awareness of it. Well, I think I did that with regards to like my smile and my teeth and stuff like that. And I did have this like one troublesome tooth that like would poke out, and sometimes I would bite the inside of my lip. It was the canine, like the sharp one, so it would like dig into my lip whenever I would bite it. So it was a bit problematic. Okay, so it really did give me problems, but as far as everything else, I mean, it was like tolerable. But I used to have this gap when I was younger, and I got the gap filled, and it was right in between my two front teeth. You could see it now. Well, I had this gap filled when I was about, I don't know, I was 20 something. And oh man, I was so happy to get it filled because like I was just so self-conscious about my smile. I would always cover my smile. Like whenever I would laugh or smile, I would be like, I would always cover it. I was so self-conscious about it. And I don't even really know why. I mean, I'm sure at some point I was probably teased about it or something, or, something made me feel that it was a problem. But yesterday when I went to the dentist, I got my regular cleaning, I got a filling, and I asked the dentist to take out the filling in between my teeth, where I had closed my gap. And it's going to be closed anyway as part of my orthodontic treatment. Like with my Invisaligns, they're going to, part of what I asked my orthodontist to do was to take the filling out and just close the gap instead of leaving the filling in there. It's not even really supposed to last that long, but I think I've had it for like 20 years. And I think like it's really like supposed to last like 7 years. But it's done very well for me. I chipped it one time a little bit, got it fixed, pretty easily. It was no problem, But I used to have like nightmares, y'all, that I chipped my tooth, and that like, but in this nightmare, it was like a big chip, like it just was like a major thing, y'all, and it was a nightmare. So it was like, I guess I really just kind of like developed this self-conscious like complex about my smile and my teeth. Well, so like yesterday, I just got this, I don't know, just like got this feeling like I just want it out, like, so I asked the dentist to take my filling out that I had gotten done, I guess they call it like some type of bonding. And all they did was just like added this bonding to both of my teeth to like build it up to where it closed the gap. But now I have the gap again. Y'all see it? And it's not even that big. Now I see like it's not that big, and now I'm wondering like, why was I so self-conscious about it, But like at the time, it just seemed so huge. And now like, I've only had it like for 24 hours now, right? So I've only had it back for 24 hours. So it's a completely different feeling. Like, anytime you get any type of work done to your mouth, you really feel it. Like it's like it feels so major, and I don't know, it could be just like the littlest thing, but you can feel it, and it feels really big. And right now, like, I've had a couple of moments where it's like the gap felt big, like it's like, oh my God, why did I do this? But like, I'm glad I did. I think it's like part of my healing journey, is like getting the feeling out, because it was something that, you know, I was really insecure about, and so like part of getting rid of those insecurities is just kind of like facing them, like facing them head on. Like, we're just gonna get the feeling out, and like, let's just go back to the basics here. And like when I looked in the mirror afterward, I was like, oh my God, I kind of look like my younger self, It was kind of weird. But hold on, y'all. And so like part of getting rid of those insecurities. Okay, I want to make sure y'all can hear me good. But anyway, so y'all, I'm gonna start. So y'all, I have been working on this lock journey, and everything. It seems like everything you do, I guess, it's just really kind of on point with the whole topic today. Is like, well, with how I started this live anyway, with talking about dental care and all that stuff. Like when you make these changes to your life, like your thinking. I mean, think about how a lot of us are like really wrapped up in our hair and the length of it and the look of it and the texture of it and all of that stuff. Part of my healing journey was also changing my hair. Like I pretty much always embrace, well, not always, but like, in my adult years, I embraced my natural hair. I started to embrace it more. But, whereas, when I was a kid, I didn't. I remember really wanting a perm. I think I got one when I was about 13. And my mom did not want me to get one even then. But I was like, I gotta have one, child. Because listen, all the girlies was getting perms. Like, nobody wanted to wear their hair, like, in its natural state. Nobody wanted to wear afro anymore. It was like, we want to have the straight hair, like you want to have that perm, them edges that's like just slick to the max, like you want to have that look. But whenever you like go through these types of changes, like these hair changes, like changes in the way you dress, like you stop wearing as much makeup, just different little cosmetic changes. It's like it has like a spiritual, like, I don't know, it takes you to like a spiritual journey, and that's what they say about locks. They say like it's like a spiritual journey that you go through. And I know part of that is because of like, what we're taught about the texture of our hair and the look of it and all that stuff, So it's partially kind of like healing the soul, like healing, the heart of the person, because it's kind of like you're hurt that way, like it like permeates you when you experience that type of like teasing or that type of criticism, it takes over your whole body. It's not like it just, something that you just think about. No, it's like it becomes you, it just takes over you. And then before you know it, all of that stuff becomes insecurities, because it becomes like a part of how you move in life and how you relate to other people and how you look at yourself and, all of that. It's so crazy how that works. And then like over time, that stuff, I believe, like ends up getting like transferred down like through generations. You end up like passing that stuff on to your kids. That's like crazy. So should I put these on? These are really soft. They're easy to sleep in. So I think I'll probably put these on. And just kind of maybe like do something like that. And then that's it. That's how I'm going to do it, y'all. because I think it's going to give me that, that crinkled look plus the curl at the end, right? So I'll be able to do, a couple different styles and then it should give me some good like body, even though like my hair is pretty thick, it has a lot of body, but still, like when it's in that curl look, you want it to be like full and like bouncy and all of that good stuff, all the good stuff. But yeah, so like it really is like a spiritual journey that you go on. And like, I remember like, being teased about certain things, growing up, hair, skin, all that stuff. But sometimes I wonder, and I don't really remember this, y'all. It's not like it is just something that I just always remember happening. But I know that the way that, like, the way my father looked at me, the way he treated me, the stuff that he said to me, like, also contributed to my insecurities, It was crazy to me because when he would try his manipulation tactics and stuff, right? He would like tap into or like try to trigger those same insecurities that he created. So it's kind of like, how are you going to attack me on my looks when you were the one who created this kind of complex in me anyway to be real self-conscious about my looks? You know what I'm saying? So it's like, not only did you kind of like make me like this, but now you're going to like exploit that even more, and like make those wounds even worse. It's just like, dude, just like adding insult to injury. That's exactly what it is. Earlier I took a shower, maybe like a couple hours ago at this point, and I wet my hair. I didn't wash it because I didn't want to wash anything out. Plus I didn't really feel like it was really dirty, but I just felt like it could use, just a little light rinse. So I rinsed my hair just with some plain water, mostly focusing on the ends because I wanted to get them wet so that this style was set easier, So now I'm just, after I did that, I put a little bit of, let me see. I used Talia Wajid on my hair. This is what I used right here. Curl Souffle, Talia Wajid. Y'all see that? So I use this particular bottle, like this container. Like I have two of these. This one was almost done, so I bought another one. But then I decided to use this one as a container to mix products in. So I mixed a little bit of this Curl Souffle with the oil. So this Curl Souffle is usually white, but it's kind of like an orangey color, like a creamsicle color or something, because I added some healing oil to it, and that's the Talia Wajid as well. And so these are the two main products that I use on my hair, other than water. And so I put, of course, water in my spray bottle. I do put a little bit of that oil in there too, but I don't put much because it will clog up the hose in your spray bottle. But I do put a little bit in there with a little bit of leave-in conditioner. What is this one? Yeah, this is the leave-in conditioner by Alpha-G. So I put a little bit of that in my water, in my spray bottle water. And of course the water and a little bit of that oil. And that's pretty much it. And then as you can see, I'm putting a little bit of mousse on here just to help the curls and stuff to set. So nothing too major. I know a lot of people with locks don't put anything in their hair, like any products, but I do, child, because see, for me, I want to keep my ends. Y'all see how my ends are a bit coily? See? especially like this one right here. Y'all see I have coil ends, and I really want to keep my ends that way. A few of them have locked already. This January I've been locked for 2 years. Okay, so I just had my 2-year lock anniversary, and so the point of me using the products is to keep my ends soft, to keep them from locking. So I've seen a couple of YouTube videos where some of the ladies don't want their ends to lock, where they keep their ends coily and curly. And that was part of what I talked to my loctician about when I first got it done. It's like, I want to keep my ends, coily, curly. And so she just told me, like, as they age, you'll start feeling like this ball on the ends of them as they're trying to lock, and then you just pull that ball off. You don't let it lock. So that's really all I do. I have my hands in my hair all the time. I love the way my hair feels, like the texture of it is just so different, and each of the locks are a slightly different size, as they've matured. Of course, they started off the same size, but as they've matured, some of them have gotten thicker than others. So it gives you like a real good like dimension or something to my hair, and I love it. I'm one of those that gets bored really easily with my hairstyles, and but I haven't gotten bored with this because it's always changing, from each salon visit, from one salon visit to the next, it's changed, and I get it done every other month. So and it changes that fast, like it's already changed. I got it done about a month ago, I think now. So I got another month before I get it done again. But yeah, it's changed. Like, it's already changed. I can already feel the new growth. I can feel the maturing of my locks. The length of my locks are changing. It does less like drawing up. Like when I first got it done, it would draw up more than it does now. The curl and everything. And now, see, my loctician describes it as like your length dropping, right? So she says your length will drop. And so now I'm seeing how that, how that works. I'm like, oh my God, my length is really starting to show. I feel like when I first got it done, it was about the same length as this right here. Like my loose natural was about this length. But of course, once it got braided up and the curl and all that stuff, it started to drop. So when I first had it done, it was like, I don't know, like that short. It was like, it would draw up. But now I can see like the length is really good. Like you see, like it's touching my back, like, okay, hair, come through, honey. It's thriving and surviving, child. So yeah, that's what's going on with me. Y'all, so on this whole topic of who the F raised me, right? I don't feel like we talk enough about, sometimes we have parents that like just like truly utterly disgust us, Like I think I'm just thoroughly, utterly, completely disgusted. Okay? Disgusted by my father's behavior, just kind of like disgusted in who he has become. Like who he is, the type of man he is, I think we get to a point like as adult children where it's like you come to the realization of like who your parents are and stuff. And sometimes that's good, sometimes it's like, oh man, I get to see my parent in another light, than the way I saw them growing up, because when I was growing up, they had to be my parent, and now I get to see them, as an adult, I get to see them in the light of a human being, as a person, not just a parent. So now that I'm an adult, and I think this really happens when you have kids. And when you have kids, it's like you really get to see, you get a perspective of your parents that you didn't have because you didn't have like that insight of having kids yourself, you know? So like it's just like a bit different. But so as an adult, I've gotten to see my father in a lot of different arenas. You know what I'm saying? Like in a lot of different ways. I've got to see him like as a father, obviously, right? I also got to see how he is as a husband, as a businessman, as a community leader. I got to see him as a friend, as an uncle, as a brother. Like you get to see people in all these different roles. And everybody is like this. Like no matter who you're interacting with, they're gonna see a different side of you, right? Like you're a different person when you're around your girlfriends or your homeboys than you are when you're around your parents, or when you're around your kids. It's like they just get a different you, and all of it is you. It's not like you're being fake or anything. It's just that, you just get to show a different side of yourself depending on who you're around. So, okay. I've gotten to see my father in all of these different perspectives, right? These different areas, right? And in every last one of them, he is not a good person. Y'all, there is not one area of my father's life where I could say, you doing it in that part, right? Like that part of your life is on point. Like, okay, I see you might be falling short in this area right here, in this area right here too, in this other area. But in this area, you got it. But there is literally no area, literally, okay? Literally, however you want to say it. There is no area that I have witnessed my father interact in where I could say that he's a good person, that I'm proud of him, that he showed great integrity, great morals, that he was a true man, that he was a true man of God, that he was an example, that he was, a hero, that he was this. Like, there is no area. None. Do y'all hear me? And when you look at your parent, you just like, man, this person is just like, there is no area of this person's life where I can just be like, yeah, this person thrives here. Because you could say, okay, we all have our weaknesses, right? Like we all have our weak areas. We all have our weak points. You can't be good at everything. There's no manual for this and that. You just got to kind of wing it and figure it out along the way. Like you could say that, but like when a person has literally no area of their life where you can just be like, I'm proud of them in that area. I'm proud of what they've done. Like this is a redeemable quality about this person because, maybe they fall short here or there, God bless them. But right here in this area is where they really thrive. There is literally no area like that that I can see in my father. None. And you just gotta kind of ask yourself, like, if you look at your parent and like there is like, you just look at that person like in disgust, like who the F raised me? Like who the F are you? Like who the F? Who the F, like just period? Who the F? And you look at that like as an adult, and then you just like, not only are you not a good person like in any area of your life, but you actually take away, you hurt people, you deplete people, you're just like a tick, like you're a plague, you're a cancer. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's like not only are you there and you're just not contributing, but you're actually taken away. You know what I'm saying? It's like, it's one thing to be there and you're like not contributing. Okay. But like to be there and you're actually taken away, like, no, sir. No, absolutely not. And that's the way he is. Like, I'm just not proud of anything that he has done. Anything. And it's crazy because I used to be the one wanting my father to say that he was proud of me. But I'm just like, why would I want to hear that he's proud of me and I'm not even proud of him? That's something to think about. You know what I'm saying? But that's how I feel about him. And even like, our culture teaches us that we can't talk about our parents like this, not only our culture, but the religion, the whole 9 yards. Our families tell us, that's your parent, that's your father, it's still your father, you only get one, But like, what if your parent is like literally a toxic, cancerous plague tick to you? You know what I'm saying? Like, what if it's actually like killing you to keep them in your life? And it's sad that like a lot of us, more than we're really willing to acknowledge, a lot of us experience that, are going through that, have gone through that, are still trying to navigate being, in that, going through it. Like they're just... And of course, there's a lot of us who are in denial about it, and we just refuse to face the facts that our parents damaged us. And the fact that we won't face it is like hurting everybody else that crossed paths with us for the rest of our lives. Like nobody's willing to, like, people just aren't willing to accept that fact. And while there may be some people who say, well, like you shouldn't be talking about your parent like that, like that's wrong, like these are the same people who are like, they have estranged relationships with their kids because they refuse to face the problems that they had with their parents when they were kids, So it's like, at what point, whose name? What are you talking about? What's my father's name? Girl Jones. What's whose name? But so my father's name is Harold. Harold. Speaking of that, have y'all noticed that like their names mean something? Okay, like back in the day, of course, they used to mean more. Now these days, people start making up names that I don't even know where they be getting these names from, right? But like names mean something. And have y'all noticed, like in today's time, right? You can see where a lot of people's name, people who are evil, who like risen up in like Hollywood, politics and all of that stuff, government, all that stuff, right? You can see where their name is similar to like a demonic name, or like something demonic that has happened in the past. Have y'all noticed that? That's crazy. That is crazy. So like my father, his name is Harold, right? Girl Jones, his name is Harold Laster. And he, like, there's Herod the Great in the Bible. Harold. And like there are some similarities in some of the things that they did. It's really interesting. But you can see that like with a lot of like politicians, of course, a lot of areas in the world are named very similar to demonic names. So it just kind of like, I think it solidifies the fact that when the Bible says that we wrestle not against flesh and blood, but against principalities and powers and wickedness and all this stuff, and, in high places and all of this, right? It kind of like lets you know. And I think we don't even realize, like we haven't even scratched the surface of how deep the spiritual implications are. The name of the church is Wings of Faith. It's in Sax, Alabama. Are you in Alabama, Girl Jones? Yeah, it's in Sax, Alabama. It's crazy. Like this whole religious thing is really, really crazy. Really, really crazy. But if you're connecting like any like people places, things, events, and stuff like that to stuff that's happening in the Bible, then you'll realize that all of this stuff is very much connected, um, very much prophesied and predicted, you know? And so the question really becomes, at least for me, is and anybody who has discernment, the question at least should be for you, what is my part in this? You know? Like, you know, all of these things are going on in the world. And so what you really should want to know is, what's my part? Like, what do I have to do? What does this mean for me? What's my role in this? What is God's vision? And what is my purpose in that vision, you know? I think a lot of people have a tendency to let fear just kind of take over, and they're just like, oh my God, you know, this stuff was predicted. It's the end of times and all that stuff. I mean, we've been saying that for forever. But the only thing that we really just need to do is just live our lives in love, you know, and lead with love. Everything we do should be in love. And I think like we're good. You know what I'm saying? I think we're good. But like we start getting into all this legalistic stuff. You have pastors like my father that you know, that preach very different things and leads people astray, you know. And sometimes, you know, these, especially pastors like my father, they mix a whole lot of lies in with some truth, and then you start, you know, you believe it. Cause it's like, it's mostly true, you know, it's mostly like right, but mostly right is wrong, you know? If it's not all the way right, it's wrong. Period. And that's how you got to be in this day and time, because people try to deceive you with even just the littlest bit of truth. You live in South Carolina. I used to live in South Carolina. I was stationed at what is it, Lord? Fort Jackson. Child, I just drew a blank. Like what is it? I used to love Fort Jackson, child. Yeah, I had some good old times there. A lot of my family is from Columbia, South Carolina, on my mom's side, and from Gadsden, Alabama. So I think it's pretty cool. It's you know what? It's such a blessing to be able to talk to people all over the world, you know, and just like daughters from all over the world can come together and share their experiences. The other day I was showing y'all this video about intersectionality by Kimberly Crenshaw. She's one of those, I think some people probably like in different spaces would probably maybe call her a mammy, you know, or like someone who just like tries to push like race issues. And it seems like she does kind of do that, right? She's the one who came up with like critical race theory, I think. And she was the one who came up with this concept of intersectionality. Now, the way she talks about it is like Black women experience, you know, like we may experience bad things, but the bad things that we experience are compounded, right? So we may experience like the racial stuff, but then we also have the gender stuff, and then we also have, you know, this stuff to worry about. Like, it's just like she talks about how everything, all of these issues are like intertwined, right? So that's the intersectionality. But see, when I started reading about it, I took it a different way. I feel like intersectionality is what all women go through. That's where we intersect. Is like usually when we like women, no matter what race they are, right? Just because we're women, we go through a unique set of things. And I think that the way her research was going is like it divides women racially, right? Because if I think that as a Black woman, I'm going through, like my experiences or what I'm going through is very different, but different in a comparative type way, right? then I'm comparing my problems, my traumas, my issues in the world, right? My plight in this world against another woman. And that separates women even more than, everything that the world is already throwing at us, right? So I believe, right, that intersectionality really is where all women, no matter where they're from, have to deal with. And what are those things? Domestic violence, right? Violence against women, strict religious oppression, think about it. They said that in violence against women, it's like every 6 minutes? Is it minutes? I can't even remember anymore. But it's like in this time interval of where a woman is violated, killed, assaulted by someone she loves or a family member, a romantic partner or a family member. And when Kimberly Crenshaw was talking about how frequently Black women are murdered by or killed by police officers, I mean, it's a problem, but it's not nearly the problem that domestic violence is for women. And you can almost trust and believe, right, that these same police officers that are killing Black women are probably beating their wives. But see, we want to think, right? Part of our divide is that this man is, he's married to a white woman, I'm sure, right? He just went and killed a Black woman because he's racist. But we're not realizing, and see, the thing is that some of us will look at the woman that he's married to. You're married to him, you have a racist husband. Not even realizing that there's a very strong likelihood that she's being abused by that very same man. And I just think that if we sit together as women, let's just say what I'm doing, right? Let's just take what I'm doing. I am exposing the abuse that my father inflicted, not just on me, right? On my mother, on other women, people that were under his leadership. So what I've done is I have blown the whistle, sound the alarm for every other woman that's out there, every other daughter that's out there. Not just someone that he may eventually have a romantic relationship with, right? Because he's no longer with my mom. But even people who will come to his church. I've put the warning out there for other daughters. Very rarely do you have a family member exposing another family member, right? Because we're taught that we're supposed to protect them, that, what happens in this house stays in this house, or whatever. All the while, these people are abusing other people, So I think it's part of our obligation as daughters, as women, to other women, right? Daughters to daughters, to expose these things that are happening. So if his wife was able to expose those things, let's just say she's experienced domestic violence from that very same man. Because I seriously doubt that nobody else is experiencing abuse from that man. That same man who felt emboldened enough to just kill an innocent person, Other people are experiencing bad things from him too. I'm convinced of it. But are those people speaking out? And no, it's not hard to do, because it's like we also have a system that's set up to where it's like sometimes our speaking out just makes us more victimized, just like puts us in more danger, and some of us have to weigh that out. Like, is it smart for me to even speak out? Because if I speak out, then, the system is not really set up to protect me, But how is that different from what a white woman is going through, an Asian woman may be going through, whoever woman may be going through, a Mexican woman? Like, it's really no different. Like, we all have to deal with, domestic issues. We all have to deal with violence in our relationships. And, at some point in our lives. And that's not race specific. I mean, it's not gender specific. It just is, well, it is gender specific. It's not race specific. It's not there's not any other specification for it other than just being a woman. That's what kind of leaves you susceptible. So why are we sitting here, all of us, like comparing our pain against one another's pain, when it's just like, sis, I hear you. Like, I hear you. Like, I don't have to compare you to mine. If I was to compare my experiences, I probably wouldn't say anything. There's people who's been through way worse things than me. Way worse. But that doesn't mean that I can't share my story, because there's a woman out there with a story more painful than mine. That just means we all need to be sharing our stories. And we don't need to be comparing each other. We just need to share. Just share. Share, don't compare. Oh, I'm about to put that on a t-shirt. Share, don't compare. Serious though. Don't y'all see where that has been like the problem? Is when you start getting into comparing. Then it's like, dang, you start feeling either like you don't want to say what you've been through because you compared yourself and you don't feel like your pain is as bad as the next daughter's, Or you make the next daughter feel bad because her pain isn't as bad, or maybe it's worse. I mean, it's just like, stop comparing. We're all daughters. That's where we intersect. That's our intersectionality right there. So maybe I done took this woman's word, right? See, she done coined the phrase. I done took this woman's phrase and just like completely changed. Kimberly Crenshaw, don't get mad at me, sis. Like, but that's what we're supposed to do, right? Like, we're supposed to like take ideas that already exist and expound on them and expand on them and, make them better. That's what we're supposed to do. That's what I'm doing. Like, I see, like, she has a great concept. I just feel like it's a bit misguided, because I feel like, granted, we all have our areas of like, concern, right? Her area of concern is Black women, first of all, and critical race stuff, of course, and then how Black women are being treated and the violence against women by police officers. But y'all, I can't help but to feel like, man, is that really a problem? Like, yes, it's a problem, because if it ever happens, it's a problem, right? Like, it's a problem if it ever happens. It's a problem, right? But like, if we tackle this on the domestic level, like on the, down to the basic relationships level, then we could probably have discovered this person's behavior before they ever became a police officer. That's where my mind goes with it. I don't know. I'm just saying, like, I probably done took this woman's word and just like completely changed the whole meaning of it. It's like, girl, that is not what I meant, but That's what she gonna be like. Child. But I feel like the concept is good, right? The concept is good, but I just feel like maybe I just have a different area of focus, and maybe that's just what it is. Like, okay, she focuses on this part of violence being inflicted on women, and I focus on this part. You know what I'm saying? And that's probably just what it is, because if we're all kind of like focus on different parts of it, then we can probably, tackle it from different areas. You know what I'm saying? Ambush it. Let's ambush this problem, okay, y'all? Look, ain't nothing wrong with a good old ambush. A righteous ambush, okay? A righteous ambush. But like, that's what I think about it. Like, but back to the utterly disgusted by my parent thing, right? So yeah, there is no area in my father's life, not being a pastor, not being a father, not being a husband. I mean, if he was just a good husband to my mom, I think everything that else would have just been like, I forgive him for everything. It's like nothing else matters. You know what I'm saying? Just be good to somebody. No, he's not. He's not good for anybody or to anybody. Let's see, that's the thing, right? He's not all bad. He's not. He's not all bad. In fact, he's funny. He's charismatic. He's handsome. He's witty. Like he's not all bad. He was there. He was present. He was there. He never left us growing up. But I think that's part of the myth of it all, right? Is that we think that what breaks people is having a broken or coming from a broken home, right? But broken homes, they have very different looks, right? A broken home could be a 2-parent household and it still be broken, And we got to think about that. Well, I just got to the part where you said about Colombia. Yeah, I love Colombia. Yes, ma'am. But what was I saying, y'all? I just forgot what I was saying. Oh, he's not all bad. Yeah, he's not all bad. But just because people come from a 2-parent household, you have a parent that's in ministries, a pastor and everything, that doesn't mean that it's not a broken home. I mean, our home was very much broken. Both of my parents were broken parents. They were broken people. They had bad childhoods, But just like I told you, at this point in my life, my healing, my getting over the past and all of that is my responsibility. And my father has the option, he still has breath in his body. He's still alive. He has the option to still fix his errors. He can still fix it. I mean, obviously there's no hope for our relationship. I'm not going to be in relationship with him anymore. I don't want him to be my father or anything. I don't want anything to do with him. But as an individual, as someone who proclaims to be a Christian, who proclaims to be a pastor, just the simple fact that you still have breath in your body, you can still change. We can all still change. We all still have that option. So just like I am doing the work to heal from what I've been through, he can do the same thing, y'all. Like, don't feel sorry for him. Don't feel sorry for anybody who still has life and they are being told about the wrong that they have done to people, because they have time to make it right. That's when it's most important, when a person is still alive and things can still be said and things can still be done to fix the problems, or to make amends, or, whatever needs to be done. So isn't it grace? Like, did I not extend him grace by speaking out about this while he's still alive and while he can still do something about it? I know that he's led people astray, you know, um, Christian wise, like in the church, right? He still has breath in his body to get that right with God, to get that right with the people he's led astray. I don't know. I mean, he has a platform, he preaches, he goes on social media and does it. Why hasn't he gone on social media and asked for forgiveness from anybody that he's hurt? Why? From everybody that he's hurt. Why hasn't he done that? See, sometimes we want to feel sad, or we want to feel a ways for the abuser, never realizing that like he can still right his wrongs. He can still get himself right with God. He can still do better, There was this YouTuber I was listening to that like brought up this concept of spiritual debt, right? And she was talking about it like in terms of when you have like done spiritually evil things, or you've hurt people spiritually, then there is a debt that you must pay to fix what you have wronged, spiritually, And I don't know how a person would like repay this spiritual debt or whatever. I guess that's something that they have to ask God about, But when she was talking about it, I did like think like, dang, this is very interesting. It's a very interesting concept, Like, is this really a thing? Is there a way that people can really, really get redemption, while they're still alive, while they're still on earth, for the things that they have done wrong spiritually? Think about it like in terms of, you know what? I'm not gonna talk about that yet, because that's another thing. That's another thing. Y'all not ready for that yet. Okay. Y'all not ready for that yet. I don't even know why I put so much mousse up at the top of this lock like this. It only really need to be at the bottom. I don't know why I did that. Oh, I guess because I want this. You know what? It was the right thing, because it's gonna also make this this braid pattern stay better. Yeah. Okay. I thought I messed up, but I ain't messed up. But I really don't need to be putting that much mousse on there. I don't think it needs to be that much, because all of that stuff is really just gonna get build up into my locks, and I don't want that to happen. But I do wash them. I wash them pretty regularly. I don't like for my hair to have any like type of bad odor or anything like that. I don't like it smell like sweat or smoke or anything, child. Food. It's really easy for your locks to hold in smells that, stuff that you've been around, Y'all, I remember, oh my God. I remember when I was in high school, right? We had just got back from Germany the second time. So this is like probably like 96, right? We got back the end of 96. 96, 97. I meet this dude in high school. I think this is like my first encounter with a dude with locks, or either a dude with locks that long, right? He had like long ones. Y'all, I went to give this guy a hug. Y'all, his locks stank so bad. I swear they smell so bad. Oh my God. Y'all, his locks smell like throw up. Oh my God. From then on, I hated locks. I was like, I hate them. I hate them. Anytime I saw anybody with locks, I was like, I hate them. That's disgusting. Then my son, my youngest son, ended up getting. He was the first one to get them. He actually is the one who convinced me to get locks, but I didn't want to get them at first because I don't like the big ones. Not for me. For other people, yeah, but like not for me. I don't like the big ones. The only way I was gonna get them is if they were, this small. And but when I discovered these, of course, I was like, oh yeah, I can do that. But it really scarred me, like, because I went to give this guy a hug, y'all. His locks smelled so bad. And do not act like you ain't never smelled nobody's stinky hair And like, oof, it was like, y'all, it was like it was like hot throw up too. That's what it smelled. It smelled like hot throw, like fresh. You know what I'm saying? Like fresh stank. It was just oof. It scarred me, y'all. I hated locks after that. But then, other people that, I met like down through the years, they had like nicer, fresher smelling, like they didn't stink. So like I started to kind of warm up to the idea, even though I still just hated them from then on, because that was my first experience and I just hated it. Like I was just like, that is like the worst smell I have ever smelled. And why would you be walking around with your hair smelling like hot, fresh vomit? What is going on here? You know what I'm saying? What is going on? All right, you guys. So I'm trying to decide. Do I want to do like a deep part and kind of like have it going over to the side? See, I'm thinking that that's going to give me kind of like the more of the, like kind of like with the curls coming down like this. I'm not even sure what I'm going to wear tomorrow. I have two options, right? So I have like a suit dress and it's kind of short, and I have tights. I have like dazzle boots, cowgirl boots or whatever. Yeah, I've been like so into the cowgirl boots here lately because they're like more comfortable than anything else. Like it's more comfortable than wearing heels. But anyway, so it's either that or this white dress that is giving wedding vibes, So I'm not sure I want to wear the white dress. And so therefore, I don't know what I'm going to do to my hair, because obviously whatever I wear, is going to be dependent on how I do my hair. So I don't know, you guys. Should I do it like just in preparation to be a middle part? Because either outfit, a middle part would be cute. So yeah, maybe I'll do it that way. What y'all think? Like go for like more the middle part look? See, I just don't know if the middle part is gonna look as good with this braid out curl style as opposed to like when I just do the curl and do the middle part. Then that's cute, because then that's giving kind of like Marilyn Monroe type, with the middle part type, you know what I'm saying? Like kind of old time curly bob type thing, right? Or but I don't know how it's gonna look with the braid out and you know what I'm saying? Do y'all know what I'm saying? Y'all not even helping me, child. Y'all help me. Help me figure out what I'm doing with this hair. I think I'd be safer if I do a middle part. If I do it like this, and then cause then that'll give me the versatility, right? Because if I do a middle part, then even if I decide to like part it on this side and go that way, it should still be able to do right. Right? Do y'all think so? Does that make sense? I don't know. We're gonna see, y'all. I might have to go back live just to take these rollers down so y'all can see how how this looked when y'all didn't help me, okay? Because ain't nobody helping me in the chat. Girl Jones, help me, child. Help me, child. What is we doing? Yep, because because even that white dress will look cute with the middle part if necessary, right? And if I need to like kind of pull it up, maybe having some, I don't know. Y'all help me, get in the chat, help me figure this out. Child, cause see, like the way you roll it and curl it and all that, it's like it depends on that's what makes it come out a certain way. So I want to make sure that I'm laying the right foundation here. Phil! Phil! Oh, no, my husband. It sounds like I keep hearing him, but maybe not. So anyway, does anybody else feel the same way about their parent as I do? I mean, you don't have to, you know. You don't have to, but just like don't condemn me for it. You know what I'm saying? Like don't try to like attack me for what is happening, because it's really not my fault, you know? It's not my fault. Now, my healing is my responsibility and I've already taken that on. But just because I'm speaking about it doesn't mean that I'm not speaking from a healed place, you know? I think some people just feel like if you're speaking about it at all, then you're not healed, because like if you were healed, you wouldn't be talking about it. And that's just not how that works. You know what I'm saying? That's not how that works. So but what he did is that's on him. And I'm holding him responsible for it, you know? I'm holding him responsible. Nobody else has to pay for the pain that he caused, you know? Like my husband doesn't have to pay for that. My kids don't have to pay for that. You know, everybody else that I come in contact with, they don't have to pay for that. But a lot of us are making other people pay for the pain that other people cause. And that's not right, you know? So like, even if you could judge me if you want to, you know what I'm saying? Like that's your prerogative. But at the end of the day, I am holding the person responsible for the pain. I'm holding them responsible, you know? And I want to maybe I'm introducing a new concept here, you know, of the level of responsibility that I'm holding my father to. But he should be held to a higher responsibility because he's a pastor. You know what I'm saying? But not only that, he's a father. Like, you know, people have to, people have to really like stand up to the scrutiny of their actions, you know, and their decisions. And that's just it. They have to deal with the consequences of them. We all do. And we pray for grace and mercy, you know, for when, you know, we were ignorant or misguided, you know, but there's still a consequence that comes with it. And speaking on the whole, like, talking about this while my father is alive and giving him that grace, you know what's crazy is that people don't want you to talk about people while they're alive, but they also don't want you to talk about them when they're dead. It's like when a person dies, all of a sudden it's like the memories of them are all like rosy, you know? Like all of a sudden you can't say anything about what that person did bad in their life. And so, like, what happens to the people who are all trying to heal from this stuff? If everybody who's looking on doesn't want them talking about it while the person's alive and that person has grace to change and ask for forgiveness or anything like that, but you won't let them talk about it when the person's dead either, because then it's like they get martyred or memorialized and like everything they did was all good. And it's just like, it's like no care and concern about the people that they hurt, you know? And you can't really ever say what it takes for a person to truly heal, right? For one, as soon as you start talking about the pain that you've been through, people try to push you to forgive. They're like, well, you gotta forgive, you know? And it's like, wait a minute, I just got to the point where I can like put this into words. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm trying to make sense of this. Like if I say it out loud, then I can start to process what I've been through. But like as soon as I'm trying to process it and speak this thing out loud and make sense of things, then you're like, you gotta forgive. Like, no, hold on, like hold your horses here. Let me process first. You know what I'm saying? Like, don't be trying to push me to forgive somebody. And I don't always feel like forgiveness is possible or necessary, or that it needs to happen within a certain time period. You can't dictate that. And the fact of the matter is that even if I experienced the exact same thing, which is impossible, but let's say it's possible, right? Let's just say this is a world where that's possible. Let's just say I experienced the exact same thing as the next daughter experienced, right? I will still have a totally different outcome because I'm a totally different person. We all react to our traumas a different way. We all deal with things a different way. We all process them differently. So even as I am creating a blueprint for the things I've created a blueprint for the things that I went through, dealing with my father and healing and breaking free, it's really just a blueprint. It's not like step by step, you have to do this exact, because you just can't. There is just no way that there could be a cookie cutter remedy or way of healing when someone's been through something. Just no way. The timing is different. The method is different. The person's, everything's different. Everything's different. So really the only thing that we can do is just hear people out, right? Just let people speak their heart, you know? I don't know, y'all. It's just, life is funny. But, I just pray that, like, the right people find me, Like, I'm putting myself out here to, to be found, to let people know that that there's a community now, building this community here of daughters who really just want to be daughters. Like, I just want to be a daughter, the daughter I was created to be, God's daughter. And I won't let any other daughter be manipulated and deceived and victimized and abused. I'll do my part. I guess just like Kimberly Crenshaw is doing her part, where she talks about the violence, the, police brutality against women. I guess she's doing her part. And so my part is just maybe slightly a different focus, right? Maybe my part is just focusing on the daughters who have experienced the traumas and abuses by their fathers, and not not other areas like the police brutality, right? Like, that's not my area. That's Kimberly's area. My area is leadership and parents. And I think maybe that's what we just all have to realize, is that we have our area. And if we just focus and thrive in our areas, then we can cover our areas. Wouldn't be right, I guess, for me to say, for Kimberly Crenshaw, the police brutality is not that big of an issue. This is more of an issue, so you should focus here. That's not right. It's not right. It's just what it should be. It's like, okay, you've got the police brutality area. Okay, I got the fathership leadership area, and then another person has the, husband boyfriend area. And then another person has the kids and, whatever. And another person has the friendships area or whatever. You know what I'm saying? Like, if we all walk in our purpose and our calling and do our part, then our bases would be covered, I think it's like that. We could cover the bases if we all do our own part. I don't know, y'all. It kind of makes sense to me. Now that I done processed it all. It's amazing how, how much clarity that you can come, that you can come into, or that you find when you say things out loud, when you speak, Because in all of that, I just made more sense of the whole situation with Kimberly Crenshaw. Like, that helped, right? That helped me a lot to make sense of that. Now I understand. That whole thing, how that works. And it makes sense. It makes sense now. Okay, I got it. I got it. And that's what we got to do. As daughters, like, we come together, we share our ideas, we talk to each other. We're not attacking each other. We're just like sharing in it, I'm just like, when I first came on here, I was just trying to make sense of what she was doing. Like, I don't really think it's that big of an issue. Why are you focusing on that, sis? But now that I've talked about it and processed it, right? It's like, okay, now I understand. Yeah. We all got our areas. You got it, sis. You got the brutality area, police brutality. And I got, this area. And we all can cover the bases. So let me know in the chat, like, what's your part? What do you feel like your part is in this whole thing, Like, whatever God is doing in the world, in the earth, what is your part? What is your purpose? Ask God that question, like, ask God to give you discernment, first of all. Like, activate that gift of discernment that God really already gave you. But activate it, right? Ask God to give you the skills to activate, and ask God, like, to show you what your part is in all of this. What is my part? What's the vision that you have for, what are you doing, God? You know what I'm saying? Like, that's why I be like, God, what you doing? What you doing? What you up to? And just really, like, that's how I talk to God. Yeah, I talk to God like, like, that's my father. And I was like, what's up, God? What you up to? What do you need me to, like, what do you want me to do? Give me some clarity and some guidance here. Like, what's my part and what's my purpose here? How can I help this mission, this purpose, move forward, And so that's what I ask you guys to do. Get in the chat and let me know what you come up with. What is God saying to you? What is your part? Like, if you're here on this channel and you feel drawn to it, you feel like maybe there's a part, there's a role for you to play here. Like, ask God to give you clarity and guidance on that. Like, what is my role in this daughter movement? What is my role in exposing spiritual abuse and helping women to break free from toxic relationships? What is my role here? Is it just to save myself? It may just be to save yourself. That's your role. Maybe you have daughters yourself, and the best thing that you can do is to save yourself, heal yourself, so that your daughters can see that, your sons can see that. Yeah, let me know in the chat what you come up with, okay? Thank you guys for hanging out with me. We got it all rolled up. All right. Yeah, see, did I do good? Did I miss anything, child? I was trying to make sure I didn't miss anything. You got miss one lock and it just be like one straight lock in all the curls. You be trying to hide it. We tuck it in with the rest of the curls. Okay. But anyway, so thank y'all for hanging out with me. I appreciate you, and I appreciate your time. I love you. And remember, you are important to me. I need you to survive. I love you. Bye-bye.